Hey guys, welcome on in. It is Jordan with thebetlocker.com here to bring you our first Monday night props video. These props have been crushing, so I wanted to make a separate video. I've been usually giving my props picks in my Monday recaps, but I know not everyone, that's kind of cryptic. No one really wants to watch recaps sometimes, and that's totally fine. They just want to get straight to what we want to bet. So I'm making these separate videos all together now. So in that way you can watch whatever you would like. So if you can take a moment, help out the small channel and hit that like button, buy yourself some good karma. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and then you will cash your tickets for buying yourself some karma. I do it all the time. I like to support everyone. I hit the like, I repost everything that I can because I do believe that it just buys you karma. so, I just wanted to land on our homepage first before we dive into the props and everything that you do get when you do sign up to become a BetLocker member. So you get, obviously you get our weekly free picks and our daily props, but which we give out a couple free props here and there. But we also give out our locker picks for NFL, college, and soon to be NBA season and golf. And then our daily premium picks picked out every single day for you guys, and then our premium props, our DFS cheat sheets for NFL and for golf, and then access to our Discord channel where I gave away 2 extra winners on Saturday for college. Awesome. And then just access to us, me and our 2 college experts. So all this for the dirt cheap price of $6.99 a week or $19.99 a month. Just wanted to make it cheap to share our knowledge and win together. So but let's dive into the props. I'm going to give out a card on DraftKings Pick 6 for the first game, the Bills game versus Atlanta. And then I'm going to give one away for the second game, the Commanders and Bears on Prize Picks. And then use whatever site that you want. If you're in a betting state to where you can use FanDuel Sportsbook and do same game parlays, even better for you because those are way better odds. But I just unfortunately am not and haven't made the trip this week. So I usually use these sites on Monday night. So, okay, our first one is going to be, like I said, Bills versus the Atlanta. So Bills on average are Atlanta on average they're ranked first and second in the league in yards per game given up for passing. So right off the bat, you're thinking, oh well, they're not going to be able to pass the ball. Yeah, probably true. I am going to target one of our picks for that. But yeah, I mean, Atlanta's only giving up 135 yards passing per game, and Buffalo's only giving up 154. They are literally ranked first and second in the league in giving up passing yards. Now, where they do that, they lack in rushing. So Bills give up 143 yards per game on average, and Atlanta gives up 109 per game. So my first one I want to target is a desperate Josh Allen. They're coming off that loss against the Patriots where they should have won. And if we learned anything from the best in the league, who is still currently in the running or first in the running for winning MVP this season, is Josh Allen. And what we saw last night, Patrick Mahomes in the same type of position, a must-win game coming off a loss that a divisional game, if that, that you just can't lose. So I'm going to be targeting a win at all cost and Atlanta where they are really good in giving up passing yards, they lack in giving up rushing yards. So you could target James Cook, but I want to target Josh Allen instead. I mean, he's gotten there with his legs 3 out of the last 5 times, but in more desperate situations where they need those wins, and even in a week 4 against the Saints to where they were pretty much crushing them, he still took off and run a bunch. But in that, coming down to the wire and you put the ball in your best player's hands, which is going to be James Cook and Josh Allen tonight. So I'm going to be taking the over in Josh Allen rushing yards. And with my second pick, now, where like both of them, they both are, like I said, ranked first and second in defending the pass. Michael Penix is not very reliable. I mean, he literally almost got benched halfway through one of the games, and they're going right back to them. They're coming off a bye week, and that's totally fine. But beyond Drake London and Kyle Pitts, he really has no one to throw to. I mean, his receivers beyond that point are going to be, um, let's go down. Darnell Mooney's injured, so that was his out right there. Ray McLeod, don't trust him much. I mean, his prop is only 19 and a half yards. Those small, anything can happen on one play. So those small ones are either very easy to take, the over, or like last night, that Tyquan Thornton burned me. His prop was only like 20, and he didn't see the field. I mean, he saw the field, but he didn't see a target. So those can be really hit or miss. Where I want to target is his only passing outlets tonight. Michael Penix is going to be Kyle Pitts, Drake London, and Bijan Robinson. I think that it's just one of those cases where they don't, I mean, the Bills by all means don't have a Pat Surtain, but I mean, they have really contained the pass against elite receivers. Saying, oh, sorry, I'm trying to go into it right now. Patriots, oh, you can't say that against Stephon Diggs. He was on a mission. He was on another planet. But they contained Tyreek Hill. They contained Chris Olave. And they contained Garrett Wilson. And Zay Flowers they didn't contain because that was just a shootout fluke game that does not happen long term over time. So anyways, my point being, I try and look for less thans or unders before I look at overs. And my favorite, honestly, I mean, you could say something about he might get there on volume alone if he has 10 targets tonight, but the Bills are really good at containing. And when you contain the pass against the Falcons, they go into let's run the ball. Let's try and just run the ball down their throat. So I think they're going to be utilizing Bijan and Kyle Pitts a lot. Well, Bijan and Tyler Algier a lot more. And Kyle Pitts might be an outlet pass. Bijan will be the outlet pass, and Drake London will kind of be locked down tonight. So I'm going to take the less there. And then our last pick in this first game is who's going to be the workhorse? Bijan Robinson. His lines are kind of higher. I would target, if you wanted to take anything with his yards, I would target his rushing yards more than his passing. Just because, I mean, Bills do contain the running back pass game really well as well. But having said that, if Bijan is the guy and the workhorse like he usually is, then he could just get there on volume alone. One lucky, yards after catch, and he gets to his not passing yards, his receiving yards, which is only 31 and a half. So if you were to take anything with Bijan for yards, I would target his rushing, but I'm going to be targeting his obviously goal line back. Tyler Algier does eat like a David Montgomery. They sometimes eat that, usage on the goal line or in the red zone, but he's going to be a workhorse in a red zone position regardless at least 1 to 2 times this game, and he usually does score. I mean, he's coming off a bye, but he scored last week. He didn't score against the Panthers and Minnesota, but that's because they were playing absolutely atrocious those games. So I expect that the Bills do give up touchdowns. So I would target his anytime touchdown. So that would be the first card that I would do for the first game, and I absolutely love it. And I would just lock that in, maybe like $15-20, depending on what your unit count is. Probably going to lock this in for just a $20. And even if you do $20, would you $100? Can't beat that, really. So like always, if you watch my props and my DFS videos, I like to cash out my money so that I don't just spend it. I like to see it hit my account to make it feel like I won something. So, which I did profit in the DFS streets and I did profit in the prop streets this week, but not a crazy ton to make, to call home about. So that's my first one, and lock that in, guys. Now, our second one for the second game is Bears and Commanders. So Bears and Commanders, they both give up. They're pretty middle of the pack for passing yards. They give up 215, the Bears do, yards per game, and Commanders give up 235 yards per game. And then in the rushing game, Bears give up 164, which is a ton, and then Commanders give up 117. So you can really target whatever you want here. I wanted to show you one fast, quick, funny thing, and this is why you do check books and see who's giving you the best line. If you go to passing yards, today, Jaden Daniels, His number on Prize Picks is going to be 223.5. If you go to DraftKings Pick 6, his passing yards is 219. So a 4-yard difference. That might not sound a lot, but there is a world where they are so spot on with their numbers that means a lot. So if you like Jayden Daniels to go over today, do it on DraftKings Pick 6. You just bought yourself 4 yards. If you like him to go under today, which I do it on Prize Picks because then you get 4 yards. So that's pretty obvious, but maybe not if you're not paying attention or looking at books. So, or looking at different sites of what the numbers are. So I like him to go under here or less than. I mean, he's hit this number. He hit this number. Look at this. Why am I taking the under, Jordan? He has hit this the last 4 out of 5 games. Well, we don't know how his knee is actually going to be. He could show up in a brace and they're not going to make him run at all. And he is going to be passing more. Now, if he is passing more, who's he going to pass to tonight? Let me run down who his receivers are. Deebo Samuel is questionable. It's his heel. It's a plant. It's a plant. Like, your heel is really important for planting, I would say. I'm not a doctor, but I would assume so. So he is really in question tonight. And if he aggravates it at all, that's their guy. He goes out. Now you're missing Deebo Samuel and Terry McLaurin, his 2 best wide receivers. So then go down. You're going to rely on Luke McCaffrey. You're going to rely on a guy named Jalen Lane. You're going to rely on a guy named Chris Moore. I mean, these are all made up names. It's literally a simulation name. Ja'Cory Brooks. I mean, he has no one to throw to outside of his running back outlets. In what do they call him, Bob or Bill? I don't know what they call him. Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. But they don't like to pass to him. He's only been targeted twice, 2 times last game, averaging 2 targets a game. So they like to run him more than they like to target him. So point being, I feel that Jayden Daniels is not going to really have a great outlet to pass to tonight besides Zach Ertz. So I would take less than. I feel very comfortable taking that. Now, having said that, because Zach Ertz could potentially only be the best receiver he's tight end, but he might be the best pass catcher tonight for the Commanders. While I'm taking under in passing yards, I would take over in Zach Ertz receiving yards. It's only 28.5. And I promise you, if Deebo Samuel is out, this number is going to rocket up. Or they probably will take it off the board altogether. So I would rely on a more than right there because he is their best. This is where you can't pick. Sorry. It says picks must be from at least 2 different teams, which is obvious. So let's see if they let me combine it, though, with that. So my other pick, having said that, is going to be DJ Moore in the over rushing and reception yards. It's just the same thing. He's getting slept on a lot because Rome Odunze is getting all the usage and all the targets and whatnot, but DJ Moore is still an awesome player. He gets those screen passes. He still gets passes in general, and they like to run him sometimes, and they're not running their backup running backs right now. They're either running DeAndre Swift and then, who's the second guy? Monangai, but he only got 4 attempts last week. So, and DJ Moore is averaging 2 to 3 a game as far as attempts on rushing, and then he's in there in the passing game almost every single play. So I like to take the little bit of insurance and take his rushing and receiving yards because maybe he breaks one off for rushing. Maybe he gets that long pass and he gets that pretty easily. I really like that one. So, look, they do let you do that. So that would be my card for the second game that I absolutely love. Same thing as the first, maybe throw 20. Look, you win 120. So that's it, guys. Hope you cash your tickets. If you will if you hit that like button because you buy yourself some good karma on your way out. And be on the lookout this week for my props video on Thursday, my DFS first look and lineup builder on Wednesday, and my free picks on Friday. All right, guys, that's it. We'll see you guys. Hey, guys.